Welcome, Christine. We're at the Faculty of Law at the University of New Brunswick today, and we're here for the New Brunswick Access to Justice Summit. Very exciting. Thank you for being here. Thank you for initiating this summit. Please tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, thank you, Argyri, for having us here. So this idea of a summit came about when I had a conversation with Dean Marin. It started as a very casual conversation with him about how CIAJ can help the Faculty of Law, what we can do to partner, and we started talking about the research that we had done on digital tools during the pandemic. And we said something like, it should be, we should be doing some reflection after post-pandemic to look at how those tools were implemented, what were the problems. And suddenly, I don't know who said it, but we said, why don't we do a conference on this? And that's how it came about, very spontaneously. Dean Marin said, well, and we just happened to have a new chair on digital tools with you. And we said, well, that's good timing. And let's create a planning committee to create this summit, this 2-day summit. And so we worked on this for a couple of months with the planning committee. The 3 courts were there, so Chief Justice Marc Richard, Chief Justice Tracy DeWare, Chief Justice Marco Cloutier. So all courts, the university, the faculty was very present with you, and people from all across the legal community. And that's, for me, it's a sign of real commitment, real engagement from the actors in the legal system. And New Brunswick also is, I think, a great environment to lead something like that, because it's a smaller province, rural, urban, bilingual, Indigenous population, Black population. It's a great microcosm of the society. And here we are. Absolutely. After a couple of months of planning, we're here to hold the summit.
We're here and we are listening to conversations and having conversations out in the plenary session and in the breakout rooms, talking about access to justice. And we are really, since the pandemic, sort of comfortable navigating this spectrum of physical access to justice, from physical access to justice towards electronic access to justice. And we're talking about digital transformation, e-justice, civil justice, all these different words that have, we all understand what they mean, but we're also trying to still define. So what is access to justice for you, and how do you think that we are reconceptualizing this notion as we move forward?
CIAJ is part of the National Action Committee on Access to Justice. I've always, even if the name is the Canadian Institute for the Administration of Justice, I've always considered the A in CIAJ as access to justice as well. To me, I'm taking it, or I'm looking at it from a different perspective, maybe, than the tools we're using to provide access to people. The tools are an important component, for sure. Whether they're digital tools, traditional tools. To me, access to justice is the way we look at, the way we frame the problems. And sometimes they're not always legal problems that you're going through. Sometimes it could be relationship problems, healthcare problems. And so people may end up in the legal system, but that's not necessarily the problem they have to tackle. So I think for the legal actors, we need to acknowledge and become more aware of the problems, identify them correctly, and maybe change our frames, change our mindset about how we can define those problems. And we need to accept to have our perception challenge as well. You know, it's as you know, you've been in the sector for a long time, abroad as well in Canada. We're very comfortable in our shoes.
Yes.
And it's hard to say to people, well, you need to change the way you're looking at things or doing things even.
Right.
So we need to challenge our perception and the way we're doing things. Most importantly, I think we need to put the user at the center of the system. We say that all the time. You know, healthcare, the client first, all kinds of industry. We really need to shift that, because people don't need what experts in the legal system need. People don't need necessarily what their lawyers need. So to me, it's a user-centric system. Access to justice means focusing on the user, making sure that what we're doing is done to respond to their needs. And one thing that we do at CIAJ is language training, is plain language. So we need to stop being so hermetic in the way we define things and we discuss things. There was a conference by Trevor Farrow. It was saying we need people to talk about the issues in the legal system. Well, why don't we talk about it? Why aren't people talking about it? Well, maybe they feel intimidated by the language itself.
Right.
So we need to change that as well. We need to be aware that this is a problem, and then the second step, we'll need to change that. So to me, that's access to justice for people.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I thank you also for bringing this user-centric approach to the fore of our quick discussion here. I'm reading the title of this summit, the subtitle, which is really putting the people at the heart of the system. When I first read that earlier this morning, I thought of this human in the loop paradigm or correction of AI systems, which always sounded that so oppressive to me. You're inserting the human in the loop of the machine, and then you're talking about putting people at the heart of a system, which is much more inclusive, much more people-centric. You're focusing on the human as the center of a whole process, rather than a small piece of an engine that is already well running.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted to thank you about adding this human perspective, and thank you for taking the time to sit with us.
Thank you, and thank you for the image. I like this image of AI, you know, bringing the human, correcting with the human touch. No, it's the other way around. It's you have the human, and then you correct for the human. So
Exactly.
thank you for that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much.